ain't from the hood. Nah, you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to set blood, ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the
hardest
hood.
working man on YouTube.
Never got put on, always claiming the hood though. Oh, you fucking with the homegirl, but don't come to the hood with none of your damn homeboys. They don't get a pass. Had the little homies press they ass for your tattoos. Hey, your mama waking up to some bad news. The plug saying groove, I'm a dime.
I'm the hardest nigga working on YouTube.
With the brain, took a 2-man fade. I'm really from the hood.
I'm the hardest nigga working on YouTube.
Right. But I was banging on the plane in the meeting with Jermaine. They like, poet, oh, you bang? They forgot where I came from. I was gang banging when it wasn't fun. Homie doing life right now, cause we don't play with guns. You ain't from the hood. Nah. You ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood. So, you ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to set blood, ain't from the hood. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. And that goes for these hoes too. Start fucking on niggas and throwing these niggas hood up. Ha, little dot. Heard you gave a homie head in the trap spot. Got a throwaway in the stash spot. Boy, you not real, like a Sasquatch. Boy, I'm so high, I'm seeing astronauts. Boy, I ball hard, I need a mascot. Oh, and Swahili, I'm a damu. My little cousin making paru. My nigga Uzi, he from Fire Deuce. Pad blows, I be hanging with some real whoops. Gang signs out the window when we drive coupes. Making money with some crips like it's 92. Banging on tracks. Back in my days, it was banging on. You ain't from the hood. Nah, you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood. So, you ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to set blood, ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood.
Fuck Chris Brown, nigga. Pull up in the hood right now, nigga. Catch your fade, nigga. Fuck, nigga. Froze.
You ain't from the hood. Woo.
What's up with the YouTube channel? This is the only channel. This is the only channel is gonna put 2 and 2 together for you like this. You're not going to get this news on any other channel. I don't give a fuck what channel you watch. I don't give a damn about what news, what YouTuber you watch. You are lucky. You ain't going to get this type of information nowhere because nobody discovered this shit. Nobody do this shit like your boy, right? Now, first of all, y'all wonder, like, how in the hell is AOC, right, personally involved in the reduction of birth, right? You know what I'm saying? First of all, they need a mascot, right? I put this shit together in a couple hours. First of all, they need a mascot to be the face of abortions. That's AOC. They need a mascot to be the face of women's rights. That's AOC. They need to be a mascot to be a face of a woman who don't have kids. That's AOC, right? Businesswoman don't have no kids. This is what they want the future of America to look like. A working woman with no kids, you know what I'm saying, that can contribute to the economy, right? A mother that's staying at home can't really contribute to the economy, right? A single mother, right, with no kids, right? A single woman with no kids, right, is a great attribute to the economy, right? So they need somebody like AOC to be the face of that shit, right? And this some cold shit, right? How the liberals hate babies, right? They hate babies, right? Because on one side they don't give a damn about a baby life, right? Abortions, right? On the other side, they teaching women not to have babies. They are telling our women not to have babies. Right? I forgot to put this one thing in, but they talking about having sex strikes and all kind of stuff until they get their way. But it's women like AOC is teaching women how to have a baby. And you want to know how? They scaring the shit out of them, right? And let me see who up in the chat know what I'm talking about. What's up, Slaphead, Sergeant Mo? How in the hell do you think, people in the chat right now, do you think that AOC or what tool is they using AOC to scare the shit out of women to not have babies? What is she running on that not have babies? Something simple. Huh? What's up, Nathan Johnson? Moose what's that? McGrew? Moose McGrew. Francisco Fernandez, that's a Hispanic name right there. I got a Hispanic in the house. Toy Mafia in the house. Huh? Who is Die Net or Die? That sounds like something my baby mama would say, right? Now, who knows why AOC is scaring the shit out of people that not have babies? Who know the tool that she's using? Who know what tool Democrat is pushing her out there to use to scare the shit out of people that not have babies? Let's see if we got some people on here on they shit. Let's see if we got some people up here that's been on their shit. Huh? Is anybody on their shit up in here? Nathan Johnson, you on your shit? Slaphead, you on your shit? I know this got it. Everyone, please hit the like and subscribe. That's a nigga press secretary right there. Well, let me go ahead and play the video since y'all not on y'all buzzer fast enough. Chain Productions. Hello. No, not Chain Productions. Not Chain Productions. I'm finna get it together for y'all, right? Like I said, y'all will only see this type of shit on this. Groundbreaking shit, right? Breaking news, breaking discovery, Illuminati, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Cunanati, whatever the fuck you want to call it, this is it right here. Let's get into it. First, we got to get into the Al Bundy with the man shit. Hold on. Wait, where we at? Oh, got to pause it first.
Tonight's broadcast of the Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am, National Organization of Men Against Amazonian Masterhood.
You never thought this day would come true. You thought it was a joke back then when niggas would have to fight for their manly rights, right? You thought it was a joke. Al Bundy wasn't a joke. He saw into the future.
I would reveal my true identity, but for political reasons, I cannot.
For political reasons, I cannot. You might get doxxed or counseled by the liberals. Al Bundy knew the future. Come on, man.
Do not take me lightly. I once scored 4 touchdowns in a single game for Coke.
They argue they give the impression that...
Now this is Russia, right? Russia and a lot of other countries put a ban to abortions. You know why? Because their population was dropping. So they say, like, fuck this. We got to get some natural citizens, right? Our 18-year-old population is slowly down through war, nutrition, and all kind of stuff, right? We need a new population of people, you know? We need a young generation. All we got is old people over here. We got to get a young generation so they stop abortion.
An abortion is like having simple surgery. The issue is also linked to the country's population crisis. According to a United Nations report, Russia's population will decrease by almost 20% by the year 2050 if women don't start having more children. Other European countries like Hungary and Poland have proposed similar laws to increase the nation's birth rate.
Right? They population gonna drop by 20%. 20%. You know how many people that is if the women don't start having babies.
While Russia takes on this new measure, the government is also considering other bills. These include tougher penalties for doctors who perform illegal abortions and also allowing mothers to leave their newborns in adoption centers if they can't take care of them.
Leave your baby in an adoption center. We'll take care of them. So Russia and Poland and other countries is adopting no abortion laws and stuff like that to help boost their economy. Guess who economy ain't boosting? Guess who economy is not growing along with Russia's? America's.
New insights into how the state of this country may be influencing a record number of Americans against having children.
To the U.S. birth rate, which has been in decline now for years. And now a new survey suggests that this trend is likely to continue, if not accelerate.
Pew Research polled people between the ages of 18 and 49. When asked if they will ever have kids, 44% said it is either unlikely or not too likely.
18 through 49. 44% of the people polled, right, said it's not likely they will have kids. Right? So, I mean, if 44% of the people who they polled is not having kids. I wonder how many of them 44% is fighting for abortion rights, right? You got gay people out there fighting for abortion rights. You got people who never gonna have kids out there fighting for abortion rights. Them him, shim, thems, and all them out there fighting for abortion rights. You got a lot of people who not even planning on having a baby out there fighting for abortion rights, right? The right to kill a baby. They not planning on having no babies, but they out there. Think about it. Think about the cruelty they have or the hatred they have towards babies. They don't want to have none, and they don't want nobody else to have none either. Wow.
That the climate crisis is already here.
That we'll be watching you.
These one of the same two bitches. Greta Thunberg and AOC is the same person. They scared the shit out of women with climate change.
On this note, I speak to you not as an elected official or public figure, but I speak to you as a human being, a woman whose dreams of motherhood now taste bittersweet because of what I know about our children's future.
You know,
her kids' dreams is bittersweet because of what she know about the future, right? She is the lead of single women not having kids. She is the main voice. How many followers she got? You know what I'm saying? She's the head of the millennial. She's a young thing on the block. She's a Democrat. She's a liberal. She fighting for all the rights. But now she's want to be the face of not having babies in America.
You know, and she said something along the lines of, well, I'm not sure I should bring a child into this world. And I thought, oh, God, Christ, you got to come up with something better than that. Such a bloody cliche, which is what I told her. I said, you know, you must have thought that up when you were 16. It's like, really? You can't do any better? This was a very, very smart woman. It's like, really, you can't do any better than that?
Deanna Volek is in her late 30s. She's lived through a pandemic, finished law school during a recession, and as she looks to the future, she doesn't see children as a part of it.
Huh? She doesn't see children as a part of it. Lots of women and new millennials are thinking just like that. It's not just women, it's also the men are thinking just like that. They don't want to bring a baby into the world.
And that our actions are responsible for bringing their most dire possibilities into focus.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope.
Decisions like hers, one of many, experts say, contributing to the U.S.'s stalled population growth.
We're supposed to come to the young people for hope. The young people is what populate the earth. It's not the old people who populate the earth. It's the old people who populate the earth. But you got 44% of the young people saying they don't want to have kids. How you going to populate the earth if the death rate is higher than the birth rate?
For the past 6 years, the CDC reports birth rates across the country have been dropping. And last year, a historic record low per capita, a 4% decline in births.
The most cited reason not to have children was simply they just don't want to have them. 56% said this, and that number was about the same for men and women. There were, of course, other reasons that people said they didn't plan to have children. For 19%, it was medical issues. 17% cited financial concerns. And
medical, financial. Ain't that all the shit the Democrats fighting, say they fighting for? Financial, medical, we gonna make medical better, all this other shit. All this shit they pump into the millennials' head that the country is doing bad. You're doing bad medically, financially, all that shit. You can't have no kid.
15% said it's because they don't have a partner. Also,
a partner, that's that he, she, you know what I'm saying, transgender shit. They don't have a partner to have a kid with, right? But what AOC got to do with this, right? I mean, she got something to do with all them too, but she the main face of this last one right here.
5% said that they didn't plan to have children because of environmental concerns, including climate change.
How dare you?
Huh?
You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
They get young people out there to promote. You're gonna die. Don't bring no kids in. Look at her. You young people, you come to the young people for hope. How dare you? Her and AOC so emotional.
And yet, I'm one of the lucky ones.
This is not an elitist issue. This is a quality of life issue. You want to tell people that their concern and their desire for clean air and clean water is elitist? Tell that to the kids in the South Bronx, which are suffering from the highest rates of childhood asthma in the country. Tell that to the families in Flint, whose kids have their blood is ascending in lead levels. Their brains are damaged for the rest of their lives. Call them elitist.
Huh? Why you think the country ain't having babies? Look at AOC. Don't bring no baby into this earth.
The rate even fell slightly for women in their 30s. And the teen birth rate continued its dramatic nosedive since the early 90s.
Everything's dropping, right? Teen birth dropping. You hear the Democrats always talking about, oh, teen birth. Well, it's dropping. Why y'all fight for so many abortion rights and all the, I don't know if it's dropping because of abortions, right? But it's dropping. It could be a main reason because these women have it in their head that if they do get pregnant, abortion is nothing because they don't want no baby anyway. So the thought of them having a baby is disgusting. They don't get the morning after pill or whatever it may be. If it's go too far along, they're going to get the medical procedure, whatever it may be, because they already think the baby is just a group of cells. Huh? Everything has dropped in the U.S. Birth rates has dropped. Rate dropped for women in their 30s. Teen birth dropped by 55%. Huh? Everything is dropping.
Down 55% since 2007. Last year, the only group to see a higher birth rate was women in their 40s.
Huh? Women in their 40s. The older women are starting to have the baby, right? It's supposed to be the younger women have the baby and the older women take care of them. Right? Now it's the older women taking care of the babies and the older women taking care of an older women having them. Right? But all through the history of time, it's always been the younger women have the babies because of the body. It's always been the older women taking care of them for the knowledge. Right? As it takes a village to raise a child, right? It wasn't just the young. The young was dumb. They need to be educated and raised and taught how to learn how to raise a kid. And they only can do that with your parent. You know, so they can learn and learn from mistakes and you can learn from their wisdom and stuff like that on how to take care of a kid. But now the young don't want to have no kids no more.
If you ask people who said they don't want to have kids, why? And a majority said they just don't want to.
You're telling them that those kids are trying to get on a plane to Davos? People are dying. They are dying.
People are suffering. People are dying.
And the response across the other side of the aisle is to introduce an amendment 5 minutes before a hearing and a markup. This is serious. This should not be a partisan issue. This is about our constituents and all of our lives. Iowa, Nebraska, broad swaths of the Midwest are drowning right now.
Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth.
Underwater, farms, towns that will never be recovered and never come back. And we're here, and people are more concerned about helping oil companies than helping their own families? I don't think so.
Huh? Don't they sound like the same person? Didn't I put that shit together? They sound like the same person.
For more than 30 years, the science has been crystal clear. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you're doing enough when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight?
We're gonna be here for much long because of the climate crisis. We only have a few months left. I love that you support the Green Deal, but it's not getting rid of fossil fuel. It's not going to solve the problem fast enough. A Swedish professor saying, we can eat dead people, but that's not fast enough. So I think your next campaign slogan has to be this: we got to start eating babies.
We got to start eating the babies, right? We're having too many babies. Too many babies on Earth, right? So we got to start eating the babies. That's the only way you're going to solve it. Eat the babies. Right? Because it's too many being born, right? It's too many. It's going to be a food shortage. Right, so what we going to be doing next? In the cannibalism, we going to eat the babies? That's the only thing that's left to do. Get some seasoned salt, hot sauce, ketchup, whatever you're going to put on it. Put it in the bun. Barbecue it. Whatever you're going to do with it, you got to start eating the babies. Because we're not going to get to the greenhouse emissions on the time that AOC is talking about getting there in a couple of months or a couple of years. We're not going to do that. So in order to save the babies, got to eat the babies. She was right. We're not going to get there. So we might as well. Why put the babies through this? Why put them through all this pain and suffering that they fit to go, all the bad air they fit to breathe, all the bad water they fit to drink? Why put them through this? Huh? All the diseases they fit to catch. Why put them through this?
Which, I appreciate that no is a full sentence, but also like a nosy parent, I want to beg the question, no, really, why?
I love children. I love the children in my life. It wasn't something I wanted to do myself.
I love to play with children. I think children are brilliant. I think they have so much to teach adults. So I appreciate them for that. I just won't be having my own.
Huh?
I don't think so. This is about our lives. This is about American lives. And it should not be partisan. Science should not be partisan.
You say you hear us and that you understand the urgency. But no matter how sad and angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil, and that I refuse to believe.
Huh? They basing not having babies on what these hoes are saying. Right? Oh, it's too dangerous to have a baby. They're going to drink bad water. They're going to have air. Right? You don't want to have it. They're using AOC, the single woman, the business woman. Right? Don't have no kids. They're supposed to be accomplished and shit. Because she ain't got no kids. A kid is going to slow her down. So she wanted to have the right to abort. And she don't want to bring any kids in because you don't want to bring no kids in this to this environment. They use AOC for all that. And Greta Thunberg.
We are facing a national crisis. And if we do not ascend to that crisis, if we do not ascend to the levels in which we were threatened at the Great Depression, when we were threatened in World War II, if we do not ascend to those levels, if we tell the American public that we are more willing to invest and bail out big banks than we are willing to invest in our farmers and our urban families.
Urban families, right? Environmentalists, they scan the shit out of these women with this environmentalist shit.
Popular idea of cutting our emissions in half in 10 years only gives us a 50% chance of staying below 1.5 degrees and the risk of setting off irreversible chain reactions beyond human control.
Well, there's only one solution to that, right? Since it's too late. You hear them, right? You hear what these, it's going to be irreversible. It's going to set this off and it's going to do this and we're never going to be able to come back. We ain't going to be able to breathe and the weather's going to change and the trees going to catch on fire and all this old shit. It's going to be irreversible. So it's only one solution.
We don't have enough time. There's too much CO2. All of you, you're a pollutant. Too much CO2. We have to start now, please.
If a deadly pandemic is not scary enough, Think about how we now have a second generation of kids attending active shooter drills at schools.
It's too dangerous to bring a kid into this world too, right? Because you got people getting shot at school shootings and stuff, which is a small percentage of schools, right? But you might get your school shot up. The school is too dangerous, right? Don't bring no kids into the world. That's what they're saying.
So we had until around the time I was born to address this issue.
They also rely on my generation sucking hundreds of billions of tons of your CO2 out of the air with technologies that barely exist.
I wish it didn't have to cost so much, but I'm going to turn 30 this year, and for the entire 30 years of my lifetime, we did not make substantial investments to prepare our entire country for what we knew was coming.
So a 50% risk is simply not acceptable to us, we who have to live with the consequences.
Huh? We gotta live with the consequences. You see how they're setting this up? Right? 5%, which is a huge percentage, is probably more, right? Because you got abortions added on to that global warming and all this old shit, right? A lot of women, they do get pregnant, they don't want to bring the woman in, they don't get the abortions. What nothing in that percentage say abortions, right? They said all the reasons, right, of people not having babies, but they didn't say if they didn't have the procedures, they got their tubes tied, if a percentage was using protection, what is they stopping and what is they doing to prevent them not having kids, right? If they, if they're using protection, if they're a couple, if they're using safe sex, is one of them got their tube tied, the dude got a vasectomy. I mean, what's the percentage of these young adults not having kids? Then let's look at the number or percentage of people, kids having abortions, of that same number. Huh?
You are so great. I'm so happy that you really support a nuclear deal, but it's not enough.
There will not be any solutions or plans presented in line with these figures here today, because these numbers are too uncomfortable, and you are still not mature enough to tell it like it is.
Even if we would bomb Russia, we still have too many people, too much pollution. So we have to get rid of the babies. That's a big problem.
You are failing us. But the young people are starting to understand your betrayal.
Young people are starting to understand your betrayal. You see how they're turning young people on older people about this climate change? You fucking up the country. It's up to you. Your responsibility is your responsibility, or for our lives is your responsibility for our future, right? It's your responsibility, not ours. You're fucking it up for us. So get your shit together so we can live. You see this? And they get her out here. She don't know nothing.
The eyes of all future generations are upon you.
She an actor. She reading off a damn piece of paper with emotion, crying. Right? Let me get this together. The emotions up on you. Okay, let me read this next part, right? How dare you? She worse than Joe Biden with a damn cue card. She got a damn ringed up piece of paper. Look at her. She like John Paul San Fran, whatever her name is. How dare you? It's 90% this and 90% that and 65%. Bitch, anybody can read that. How dare you?
And if you choose to fail us, I say we will never forgive you.
Just stop.
You have to read that? You have to read that, right? Like, hold on, let me read this part right here. If you choose to fail us, we would never forgive you. This is the most emotional speech ever by a little 17-year-old girl. She had to read the whole thing off a piece of paper. The most emotional speech for climate change ever. She said, we ain't got time. Well, we got to eat the babies. We ain't got time.
Stopping having babies is not enough. We need to eat the babies, and this is very serious. Please give a response.
Thank you.
Look, read it off the paper. She lost her thought. She got to get it back off the paper. I lost my thought. You motherfuckers clapped. Hold on, I got to reread it.
We We will not let you get away with this.
Look, we will not let you get away with this. Let me look down. We will not let you get away with this. What's your next line after we will not let you get away with this? Since they letting you read one-liners and cry. We will not let you get away with this. How dare you? What's your next one-liner?
Right here, right now is where we draw the line.
Okay, right here and right now is where we draw the line. That was your next line. What they tell you to say going out? Right here, right now, that you got to read off the damn paper on this emotional ass speech that you know every fucking thing. Right? What's the next line?
The world is waking up.
Oh, the world is waking up. She had to read, the world is waking up. Let me read this right here. The world is waking up. Okay, bitch, we got it. Huh? Eat the babies.
Luckily, we have more than a few months. We do need to hit net zero.
Like we don't have a few months. We don't. You hollering, we got to eat the babies. We ain't got a few months according to you, AOC. We got to eat the babies.
Net zero in several years.
Millennials hold just 5% of the nation's wealth, unlike the boomers before them who held about 21% of the nation's wealth at the same age.
Right? So they saying that the boomers, the millennials is broke as a son of a bitch. The baby boomers are the one got all the money. The millennials ain't as broke as shit. That's why they don't want to have no babies. They're like, we ain't got no money because the economy is fucked up. But you know what I'm saying? They ain't got enough money, enough know-how to start a family, and know if they create a family, they can create money and wealth and shit like that. The thing is, a lot of millennials ain't got no motivation to go get no money. They don't own no businesses. They don't own no houses, right? They don't have great jobs. A lot of them really still in going to school for stupid shit that ain't gonna get no job for, right? A lot of millennials still living with their parents, making stupid decisions, right? So they're not owning shit. They're not going after wealth. They're going after comfortability. Look at Joe Biden, what he's telling people. Go out and get a good job, a union job. A union job doesn't create wealth. A union job, you can still be renting shit. You can be renting your car. You can be renting your house. You can be still taking out loans. You renting shit. Joe Biden don't tell you to get no shit and own shit. He always talking about union, join the union. Oh, union workers, union this, union. That's not wealth. Ownership is wealth. Entrepreneurship is wealth. Ain't nobody been in no motherfucking union talking about no wealth. Ever. Unless he was in a damn football union, a basketball union. But ain't no worker union talking about, oh yeah, I'm fighting for wealth. In the union. You gonna make what everybody else make, nigga. You in the union. You're not no independent contractor. You get what everybody else get. That's what the union for. When you get a raise, everybody get a raise. Everybody get a deduction, nigga, you get a deduction. Huh? Niggas get fired and laid off, your ass getting fired and laid off. You in the union. Ain't nobody better than nobody else. Ain't no holler no wealth shit over here. Fuck you talking about wealth. Who you be listening to, Joe Biden?
There's scientific consensus that the lives of children are going to be very difficult. It's pretty.
The lives of children are going to be very difficult. You keep pumping this shit in these millennial head, queen millennial bitch.
Impossible to buy a home to raise kids. You don't have the cash or collateral to make it happen.
And it does lead, I think, young people to have a legitimate question. Is it okay to still have children?
Millennials also facing mountains of student debt.
And I mean, not just financially, because people are graduating with $20,000, $30,000, $100,000 worth of student loan debt.
At such high rates that monthly minimums barely pay off the monthly interests.
And so they can't even afford to have kids in a house, but also just this basic moral question, like what
are the key reasons we're seeing this decline in population rate?
Number one.
And maybe that's a question you should ask China.
You know what goes right there, right? I don't put that word on this channel as much as I can, right? So instead of putting the word right here, right, I'm going to put this right here whenever I want to put, so whenever this come on, it means this word right here. It's like, hey, YouTube listeners, try to cross-reference some shit.
Which is affecting the death rate, but also fewer women are having children right now.
because of the China. Because of China, fewer women is having babies right now because of China.
Now as well.
And maybe that's a question you should ask China.
And because of China, right? Because of China.
It has also slowed down immigration into the United States. That was the other source of population growth to the country.
China slowed down the population of growth, you know what I'm saying, because the migrants wasn't coming over here, you know what I'm saying, having babies and populating and stuff like that. So another reason why we wasn't populated, right, because we can populate one way, right, one or two ways. We can have babies and populate our own countries, or we can import people, you know what I'm saying, like the Salvador president say, and populate our country, right? Because think about this. If it wasn't for the immigrants or the other people coming and we always practicing this abortion and don't have babies and shit, how much would our population really be, right? And when people say they're trying to kill people off, right, what is the best way to kill somebody off? Not allow them to have babies, right? Not allow them to have babies, right? And that's part of my... I'll probably give y'all a preview of my next skit, but that's part of my next skit, you know what I'm saying, on babies that was aborted that's still alive. Right? But these Democrats and these leftists are so fucked up about the country not having babies, right? They make not having a baby and make not being able to experience one of God's greatest gifts to women, right? They make it sound so sick. Right, but they use words to make it sound so normal, right?
Experts worry a shrinking population could have big consequences.
If, on the other hand, the birth rates don't rise again, that has implications that ripple through the whole economy and society.
Well, I think, because if these women are not having kids, right, what happens to the next generation? Right, of the next generation after their generation, right? What happened to their generation, right? And after their generation, if people have this idea in their head that I don't want to have kids because I want to be free to work and free to be in the union and free to go out and have fun and free to have butt sex and all this old shit and free to call myself a pronoun, whatever. It's a war on not having kids. Think about it. It's a war on not having kids. You confuse kids at an early age, right? Some kids get mutilated to the point where they never have kids again, right? It's a big number of that, right? Kids switching over and getting mutilated, then all of a sudden they remember who they is and want to go back, and it's too late because they insides or they PP or whatever messed up, right? It's a war on kids. They're not educating no kids. They're not making kids it's safe for kids. They may not making more parks for kids or more community centers for kids and none of that shit for kids, right? They're making more abortion clinics. They're trying to make federal land into abortion camps. They're trying to fly people out of states and get people plane tickets and stuff like that instead of saying, okay, well, let's practice safe sex. Okay, let's practice taking what do you call that, prenatal pills where you can't get an abortion. Let's practice taking a epidural shot, whatever, right? I don't know if that shit is bad. It's certain things that you probably can do that, you know what I'm saying, use a condom. I don't know. But certain things you can do, you know what I'm saying? But to say that you can just create a human life and then say you can get rid of it when you want to, you know, it's a point on the video I'm making tomorrow where a lady said it's at some point something a code that's never been here before is created when a man meets a woman. It's going to be a cold video tomorrow that I make. It's going to be a cold video. It's long as hell. That's why I'm on it. But it's going to be a cold video. I had to put this in between. But AOC is responsible, right? Because the left is trying to erase. Look at this, right? You got men that's trying to be women. You got men that's race. They trying to erase woman. You can't even be a woman no more. You got to be a birthing. No, think about. No, I want to show you this right quick. I want to show you this right quick, right? This up in here. Let me show you this video, right? I forgot to put this in. Oh, here it go, right? I want to show you what this is, right? Look how the left and liberals think about babies, right? I want you to see how sick this shit is, right? Look how the liberals think about babies. Let me see. Look how the liberals... Here we go, right here. I forgot to put this on. I forgot to put this on. I forgot to put this in the mix. I forgot to put this on. This is supposed to be in there. But look how the liberals think about babies, right? They had a question. You know, the liberals on Libs or TikTok, they have different little questions that go around, right? Right? So they ask, are aborted babies being burned and used for electricity, right? They're asking this, are aborted babies being burned? Because it's a rumor, right? Or this is the show for the, I don't know what the fuck this is, right? But it was a question asked, are aborted babies being burned and used for electricity? And watch how these liberals answer this question.
Babies being burned and then used for electricity?
I hope they are.
Jesus, I am so tired of seeing this. You know what? I hope so. I hope so.
I sure hope so.
I don't know. I hope so.
Oh, God, I hope so.
They hope that aborted babies are being burned and used for electricity. They hope so. This is how extreme the left has gotten on babies. This is how extreme they've got. They done got all the way extreme from aborting a baby from 3 months to from restrictions to no restrictions to aborting a baby at 9 months to saying this type of cruel shit about babies. Not wanting babies at all. Right? Influencing other women, right? Not to have babies. Thinking babies are disgusting. Why? There's going to be a couple of women up in here, right? But this bitch Joy Behar say women should use sex, right? As a weapon.
Women in the world have conducted sex strikes in history. In 2003, a sex strike helped to end Liberia's brutal civil war, and the woman who started it was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. We have more power than we think we have, and some of it could be right in the bedroom. Just saying.
Huh? Right in the bedroom. Right? Sex strikes. Sex strikes.
I think it's because it started with the feminist movement that they felt that impaired a woman's future.
The world perceives child-free women in the most negative light possible.
Child-free women now. It's a term for this shit. Child-free women. They got all kind of pronouns. Child-free woman, I guess, is a pronoun now too. Also, child-free women. Huh? Only in America.
I think it's not a need for women anymore. We don't need to have children. We find that our own happiness is more important, our own mental.
We don't need to have, ain't no use for women no more. We don't need to have women no more. You got women saying to raise women.
Mental health is more important.
It's like, yes, obviously this is a vale of tears and a well of suffering and all of that. If you ask 30 people who are wondering about having children, why they're wondering, 20 of them will say that. And so that tells you how original it is. It's not original at all. It's not a thought. It's like this little, it's like a It's a meme. It's something that lives in your mind.
People who say, oh, but you're harming a life. I believe this is life. Well, some religions don't. So how about that?
But I think
they're practicing, right? They're using religion. They're using abortion. They're using climate change. And they're using AOC as a voice in all of them to help promote the stop the birth of kids.
I think it also reflects reality, Tucker, that the age when people are getting married, having children, buying a home, buying a house has gone from mid-20s to mid-30s.
It's not a thought, and it's certainly not something that you should just take at face value and then say, oh, well, I'm not having a family then. It's like, no, you kind of look at that and you criticize it a little bit.
We have been called selfish. We've been called narcissists, which is kind of strange.
Our Jewish brothers and sisters, they are able to have an abortion according to their faith.
I do have a coworker who recently had a baby. All of my other coworkers were like ogling over him and making silly faces, and I'm just like typing away on my computer.
Right now, we're not saying you got to be excited about another woman having a baby, but it's a life came into this world, and everybody was celebrating the life. And you see how she sound? I'm over there, and I'm on the computer, and I'm typing the computer. You see how evil that shit sounds? It's not. We're not talking about. It's not a life that you created, right? It's a life from God. It's a healthy baby. Everybody over there celebrating, saying how cute it was. You're so evil that you couldn't even do that. Because to you, that baby is gross. Ooh, I don't like that baby, right? So imagine if she was pregnant, what she would do to a baby. And she don't even want to celebrate a baby being here, a gift from God being here. What kind of demonic shit is that? That's liberal shit. Burn babies, abort babies, 9 months, 10 months, no investigation after the baby is born. Pills. To fuck it, sex strikes. I don't want no baby. That's unnatural.
You know, there are so many faiths that do not have the same definition of life as fundamentalist Christian.
Think about this. Christians promote family. The Democrats promote basically being single and doing all this shit by yourself, right? Going to work, being a businesswoman. You can do all this shit by yourself. You don't need no kids. You don't need to get married. You don't need no family. They building houses smaller and smaller for bachelors. You don't need all of this whole shit. They're promoting not having kids because they promoting you're better off in life without kids. Right? Financially, and it's better for it's better for the environment. It's better for society. Right? You can do better financially because you can work. Remember, they always say the financial shit, right? You can do better financially if you don't have kids. Right? Because if you have kids that fucks up the economy because you're not able to work. You're not able to be productive. You're not able to pay taxes. So that fucks up the economy. If a lot of women have kids and not able to work and got to stay at home and take care of people, it fucks up the economy. They can't have that. They got to have women like this.
You know, when I am in groups and there are persons talking about wanting children, I don't know how to respond.
It's like, well, it's the other one. That's the other one that's very common. There's too many people on the planet.
Oh, shit. Hold on.
Planet already. It's like, I really don't like that statement.
And so what about their rights? What about their right to exercise their faith?
In middle school, one of my friends, she said she never had the desire to have kids, and she said that, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize that was an option.
And our crisis right now is that we're not reproducing ourselves. We're about 1.8 rather than 2.1 or 2. And we're suffering from what? Prolonged adolescence.
And when she said that, I was like, I don't know if I want to have kids either.
I don't even know if she's a real woman, right? But thank God you don't want to have kids, probably. You know what I'm saying? If the kids come out looking like you. But that's kind of fucked up how these women is thinking about kids and how disgusting the kid is. Because they taught by Democrats to hate. Everything about the Democrats we hate fascism, we hate white supremacy, we hate this, we hate the Supreme Court, we hate the Republican Party, we hate the Senate, we hate when voter rights and shit, we hate the police. Think how many things the Democrats not dislike, not only disagree with, right? But think how many things the Democrats hate. You have to hate something to destroy something. You can't destroy nothing you love. Who the fuck destroys something you love? You only destroy things you hate. You can get rid of something you love. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people, when they love something, they give it away. You know? They love a car, they don't destroy it, they give it away. They got a pair of pants, they don't destroy it, they give it away. Right? Who in the hell loves something and say they love something but will destroy it? It's impossible. I love this baby right here, but I'm finna kill the shit out of it. You have to hate that baby. Ooh, I don't want this baby. It's going to slow me down. I'm not going to be able to go to school. I'm not going to be able to take these drugs. He not going to want me. He going to get the trip. Whatever the case may be, you must hate that thing in your belly more than anything else in society. You know what I'm saying? Because everything else is more important than that baby. Your financial, your career, your freedom, your relationship. Everything is more important in that baby life, so you have to hate that baby. And then how the Democrats say, how they break it down from it's not a baby no more, it's just a clump of cells. Now, just like they give you the ability to hate, right? Because if it's a Trump supporter, that means he's a white supremacist, so you have the right to hate. Now they done broke it down to the babies is a clump of cells now. Now you have a right to kill. That's how the Democrats think. They are the evilest motherfuckers on the face of the earth, right? And try to cover it with love, right? Think about this. The Democrats are using hate in the name of love. They protesting in the name of hate. They burning shit down. They burning shit down in the name of hate, but they say it's in the name of love. They protesting in the name of hate, but they say they protesting in the name of love. Right? Everything they doing is evil, right? Including assaulting on the police and burning down pro-life centers and stuff. Everything they doing is in the name of love. You have to be an evil motherfucker, right? You have to be evil in life to be doing something so hateful and say you're doing it out of love. Right? When your parents whoop you out of love, they don't whoop you because they just whoop you out of the name of love. Like, I'm going to whoop you out of the name of love. They whoop you out of love because they correct you. But if you ain't done nothing wrong, they ain't finna whoop your ass out of the name of love because they may disagree with you because you got your own mind. Right? You're gonna mind what they say, but you also can have your own mind. They gonna whoop your ass for that. You ain't supposed to think for yourself. I'm gonna whoop your ass. Right? The Democrats are the evilest motherfuckers on the face of the earth. Don't disagree with them. Look what they're doing to Clarence Thomas. Look what they're doing to Donald Trump. Look what they're trying to do to all these Republicans. How in the fuck you have a hearing and you don't have no chance to defend yourself? Huh? A prosecutor would go 1,000. He would never lose a case if he have nobody to question a witness. But only the Democrats can get away with saying they don't want to bring a baby into the earth of the United States. They don't want to bring a baby into the. I mean, if this is the best country in the world, as the Democrats say, the freest country in the world, with letting opportunities and all that old shit, what other country would you have to have a baby in if not this one? What better opportunities your baby would have than they would have in this one? I don't give a fuck what color they is. So you saying you don't want to have a baby in this country? What country would you prefer to have a baby in, or what country policies would you rather this country follow for you to have a baby in? You want us to follow China policies? North Korea? Russia? Mexico? Afghanistan? Australia? Germany? You name it. What other? Africa? The Middle East? You name the country. Cuba? Venezuela? You name the country, you rather have the baby in, and what policies you want us to adopt to make it more comfortable for you to have a baby in if it's not America. Right? We'll be waiting on that call.
These children, or they have adult bodies, but they have the minds of children. They don't want to grow up.
What really sealed the deal for me was my time as a teacher and my time as a nanny. I remember feeling two different ways about my students. One was that I wanted to adopt them all and keep them and take care of them and love them and nurture them. And then the other part of me was like, oh my gosh, this is all day, every day. And that's when the first seeds of maybe this isn't for me start.
Motherhood isn't for me. All day, every day. I heard being a mom is a 24-hour job. I heard that. Right? She got up in here and said, oh no, this is not for me. Right? So you know, like these celebrities and a lot of other people, not like a lot of other people who actually adopt kids because they love kids and want to take kids out of the place they in, right? You got some people and high profile people and adopt kids for decorations and, you know what I'm saying, for show offs and for eye candy and photo ops and shit like that. Look what I got. But there's some people out there who got kids and actually adopt kids that love kids and they want to take kids out of a situation. Shout out to them who doing this shit for the right reason. But there's some people out there doing it for the wrong reason. I don't want to have kids, but I adopt one, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Some doing it for the right reason, and I know some doing it for the money. But if they're taking them out of a situation that they in and taking them in a better situation, I don't give a fuck if they were doing it for the money or not, as long as they doing it, right? Because it's a lot of... So I'm going to tell you what was happening in L.A., right? I have a brother that's in a situation, right? He has a nonprofit, right? And what happens, right? It's a lot of homes out here, right? Where you can get a home, right? Like me, I can get a home, and I can, if I get a house, I can get a license, and I can move underprivileged kids in the house, right? You know what I'm saying? Like kids that out of foster homes or kids or out of the juvenile system, you know what I'm saying, or kids, you know, whatever, right? I can get a license, I can get a house, and it's big in LA. Lots of people is doing it. Some people are doing it for the money, right? And some people are doing it for the love. I don't give a fuck what they doing it for, as long as they doing it and they're not abusing the kids, and they're not abusing the kids, and the kids getting what they want out of it, right? And the kids going to school, they clean, they eating and shit like that. I don't give a fuck what they doing it for. Do it. You know what I'm saying? If I had enough money and I had the proper shit, you know what I'm saying, I would do it. You know what I'm saying? I would love to get a house, you know what I'm saying, where I have a group of young men where I can motivate and teach, you know what I'm saying? I'd be responsible for their education and their well-being and their safety and shit like that. I would love to have that responsibility. You know what I'm saying? There's people up in there that got that. There's a lot of homes and around LA that have them. They have a mental health home. They have a lot of ones with drug. My brother got the one with the drug addiction. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people who face drug addiction. You know what I'm saying? Can go and they can rent a room at one of his facilities. He's growing. He got one house. He's trying to grow and get another house. You know, but it's systems where we can put kids in. You know what I'm saying? And have them in the system in the place where the government pays for them and they got to go through all this old shit they talking about where I don't want to bring a kid into this fucked up world and stuff like that. We're not saying we're not saying that you got to go out there and have a baby. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying like, oh, okay, you got to, we force you to have a baby and you're a fucked up person for not having a baby. All we saying is don't kill the baby. It's a difference. If you take all the precautions on not having a baby, it's perfectly safe if you don't want to have no kids, right? It's perfectly cool. We applaud you for that. You know what I'm saying? You stood up for that. But we're saying if something may happen and a life may be in your stomach because of something you done and you didn't take that precaution, all we are saying is don't kill the baby. That's so hard.
It to spring up.
AOC is a good example of a person who's suffering from prolonged adolescence. And she said she doesn't want to have children because of climate change.
It's like, just who are you going to ask to leave? Just how are you going to get them to leave? You know, it's a serious question. And who says there's too many people? What the hell's wrong with people anyways? Sort of. Or running around ruining the planet.
It's ridiculous. And it is theocratic. It's authoritarian. It is wrong.
I knew for sure that having kids was not what I wanted to do because of my gut instinctive reaction, which was kind of like illness, kind of like a tunnel that just shot out in front of me and looked very, very dark.
Look, what I was basically saying is that we're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too.
We're running by a gang of cat ladies, right? That don't have babies or don't have kids or don't plan to have kids, but they always want to have a say in what kids are brought to the world, what kids are being safe, how kids are being educated. Ain't got nothing to do with no kids, right? Pete Buttigieg, AOC, Kamala Harris. I ain't got no motherfucking kids, but they want to tell you something about kids. They never have and they never will.
Think about the kind of family that I want to plan, and I've already known my entire life that one day I'd love to adopt children.
A plan her family. Now you see how they talk about planning, right? Their kids, right? Because when you plan a family, you can get a kid at 14, 15. You can skip all them years of bringing a baby into the world and nurturing it and all those stuff. You can get a kid 15 to 16 years old, and if you don't like him, you can trade him back. I don't like him. He acting up. Give me another one. They ain't appreciating me, right? Give me another one. Right? You don't have to go through the emotion. You don't have to see what's wrong with this kid. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to mold or mentor this kid. If the kid is acting up and he ain't right, give me another one. Fuck his emotional well-being. Give me another one. One that fits me.
I find it very interesting that a lot of the people who do give me pushback on not wanting to have kids are women. If you are a woman and you don't understand why somebody else doesn't want to have kids, learn about it, ask about it. Don't immediately shut them down or think that they're heartless. I don't think that I'm a heartless person.
And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children.
But even now, when you put climate change on top of that, I know that I want to, perhaps
have one less child than I thought I would maybe have, if I can even have a child by.
One less child that she would have, even if she can have a child. You see that? Right? Why? Through climate change, I would have one. How many women is following AOC footsteps? She has thousands and thousands of viewers and followers, right? She mentored a lot of different women, right? She mentored women who mentor women. How many women is AOC affecting with the same rhetoric?
Logically, I don't know.
And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it? I just wanted to ask that question.
Hands down, responses from women are way worse. With men, it's more like a curiosity, like oh, how did you come to this decision? Women see it as an invitation to convince me otherwise. It's, oh, not right now, but you want some in the future. What are you gonna do when you're old and you're alone? Whatever I want, that's what I'll do.
Huh? These cold-hearted bitches, these cold-hearted hoes, they make it sound, they laughing and making it sound so natural. Why other people are angry because they know it's not. Well, I can do whatever I do. Or people like, damn, that's unnatural. You're going to change your mind because you're going to want somebody that resembles you. You're going to want to be responsible for somebody. You're going to want a different love. Everything is ran on a trinity to have happiness, right? You got to have a trinity in everything. You got to have young, middle-aged, old, tall, middle size, short. Right? Past, present, future. Here, now, then. Body, mind, soul. Right? Everything is a trinity. Father, Son, Father, Son, Spirit. You know, everything is a trinity, right? So, if you get a love from your father, which is a love that a woman can never receive. A woman can never receive a love from a man like she get from her father, right? It's impossible, right? Then you break it down to your second level, your husband. You get a love from your husband. A woman can never get love from a love that she can get from her husband, from no other man. She can never get the love from any other man, not from her father or anybody else that she can get from her husband. So that's two of the Trinity. 1, 2, she happy as fuck because she with her father, and her father is making her the princess. She happy as hell with her husband because her husband is making her the queen, right? Now you get down to the kids, right? There's no other love in the world, you know what I'm saying, a mother can give like she can give to a kid, or a kid can give to a mother, right? So if you got all trinities of these love, you would be the happiest person in the world, because there's no place on earth you can get love from besides a friend or whatever, you know what I'm saying, an accessory. But if you get love from all these three, that's the Holy Trinity. Right? If you ain't got no father, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you can have a father figure, right? But you can miss out on certain shit. You ain't got no man, you can miss out on shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no kids, you can miss out on shit, right? One of these is not total happiness. That's why some people adopt, to bring that Holy Trinity. Right? But you got to have that Trinity. Things got to happen. Right? It takes two to complete, right? But you also can split and make something even in the middle. Because you can't have, everything has to have two halves. You got a circle, it got to be two halves. You got a square, it's two halves. With everything, you can divide that shit in two halves. But them two halves make a whole. And that whole can produce. It can't produce, half can't produce nothing without the other half. Think about it.
And propose that maybe if we want a healthy ruling class in this country, we should invest more, we should vote more, we should support more people who actually have kids.
Just, I haven't tried.
Because those are the people who ultimately have a more direct stake in the future of this country.
Regret is another threat also. You'll regret it when you get older. The thing about regret is you don't regret not doing what you don't want to do.
And you know, I think having a mixed family is part of my personal planning.
Family planning. Right? I'm going to give me a mixed family. You see what I mean about decorations? Right? Now, I'm going to pick me a family out. Not have my own baby, not have my own blood, but I'm going to pick me one out. I'm going to have me a mixed family. I'm going to adopt me a black kid. You know what I'm saying? She ain't going to adopt no white kid. It's going to be a black kid, a kid from Ethiopia or some shit like that. She's going to have a mixed family. Because she want to be biracial. This is the voice of the women movement.
Because people hate humanity. You hear the environmentalists, the radical environmentalists, say such things. I've heard people say this. The planet would be better off without people on it. It's like, well, let's keep you away from the hydrogen bombs, shall we?
My parents know I don't want kids. They've known pretty much my whole life. I've kind of prepped them already, like, don't ask because you know the answer.
In terms of pressure from my family, I don't get it quite so much from my parents, but I do get it from my grandmother. Pressure to marry somebody Jewish so that I could raise Jewish kids. I understand that she's like where she's coming from, and like I know she just wants the best for me, but at the end of the day, I always end the conversation saying, it's my decision, it's my life.
Huh? It's my decision, it's my life. I'm not bringing no Jewish kids into the world. I'm not going to extend our family tree. I'm not going to extend our family bloodline. I'm not going to do that. It stops with me. You better hope it's a sister or brother or something like that, because the bloodline starts with me, and I don't like kids. I think it's yucky. I don't want to fuck up my body. I don't want to carry it in my stomach. Some women think kids are evil or disgusting. People like AOC.
But it's really hard, and I don't think sometimes that older generations really understand how much we're taking this into account.
I identify as Afro-Latina. My father is from the Dominican Republic. He has African roots. My mother is from Puerto Rico. So when I think about, if I were raising a child in this world, a black child in this world, you can't control how other people perceive them.
My mother was bent on me having kids. Oh, they would be so perfect. But I've spoken to them, and I've started saying, I'm pushing 40 and my time is up. And I've been saying that since I was 35. I'm now 36. But it seems to work.
Also just this basic moral question, like what do we do? And even if you don't have kids, there are still children here in the world, and we have a moral obligation to them to leave a better world for them.
A better world for them. I dropped my weed pan. But we got to have a better world for the kids. In order to bring kids in the world, you got to have a better world, because the world is so fucked up, you can't bring the world in. This is what they teaching the liberal women. This is what they teaching more than half the women in the country. The world is so fucked up, you can't bring no baby into the country. And guess what? We're going to fuck it up even more. You still don't want to bring no baby in no country in this recession. Huh? You don't want to bring no baby in the country with this climate change. You don't want to bring no baby to the country with this racism going on, with this police brutality going on, huh? You don't want to bring it up in here, but with this China going on, the world is so fucked up right now. Don't bring no babies into the world. It's so fucked up. That's what the liberals are telling you. He mad. Republicans and conservatives are mad. That's false. This is the most prosperous place in the world. This is the place of opportunities. This is the best place to raise a family. They're telling you it's not. Destroying the nuclear family.
And people think that's a virtuous statement. The planet would be better off without people on it. It's like, really? That's what you're saying. It's like, I see. You don't think it's okay to be racially genocidal, but it's perfectly fine to just wipe out all of them.
My stepmother we were fighting, and she said, you'll see what this is like when you have kids. And I said, I'm never having kids. And she said, yes, you will. You don't know what you want. You'll change your mind. You'll see. You know, what doesn't occur to people is that a 5-year-old could walk up to a grown-up and say, I can't wait to be a mommy when I grow up. And they will never say you'll change your mind. But if a little 5-year-old girl comes up and says, I don't want kids, she's loony, or she's, you know, she's too young, she can't possibly know her mind.
Huh? But these are grown women. Don't blame it on no 5-year-old. This is a grown-ass woman. Nobody taught you. Your mother didn't teach you not to have kids because she wants you to have kids. Your daddy didn't teach you not to have kids. He want a granddaughter. Most parents want their kids to have kids because they want grandparents. They want to see their bloodline. They want to see you produce before they die. I want to see my bloodline. I want to get a chance to take pictures and call my grandkids and take them to the park and do all those shit before I die. I want to get a second chance. Right? A lot of grandparents love that opportunity, but they never get it. Because the liberals say, right, if you do that, you're going to fuck up the economy. So don't have no babies. Stick to being single.
That's okay, as long as you're not selective about it. So we're nourishing people, we're nourishing young people on nothing. It's nothing. It's like they're suffering, and no wonder, because life is suffering, right? That's the first thing you learn if you're on the road to wisdom. Life is suffering, right? And is it someone's fault? Yeah, sure, it's society's fault, it's your fault.
It's everybody's fault, right? It's everybody's fault, but life is suffering. You're gonna suffer. It's the Bible. Everyone suffers. Everyone goes through something, right? But you can't use that as an excuse to say I'm not gonna bring a life into the world, or I'm gonna end one that I do bring into the world. You can't use that as an excuse, right? And let these liberals let you believe that abortion is right, the ending of life is right, because you don't want to bring it to work because you're not financially stable. Well, sometimes you ain't gonna. If you're not. Some women ain't gonna never be financially stable, right? But bringing a life in this world will make you change your mind about how you perceive yourself. If you really love that life, if you really love yourself, some women don't love themselves. A lot of these women probably don't even love themselves. They're probably promiscuous. How many men, right? How many men that you know, right, gonna be with a woman and say she would never have a kid? You would never have a kid? What if I want to have a family? Well, you must be the wrong one. Well, I'm gonna have sex with you for just as long as I can until I find me another woman who I'm more compatible with. Because one day I want to have kids. Not now, but it could be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, one day. So you telling me it can never be a future. I can never have a little junior, you know what I'm saying, that I can take to the park and go fishing with. I can never have a little junior that I can play basketball with. Take to the game, watch the game. Well, teach them how to teach them what boxing is about. I can never have another me that I can I'm responsible for. Right, that I see myself in, that carries my name. You telling me I can never have that with you? Okay, well, I don't fuck you until, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not gonna take it serious. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point in time, it's got to be no us. It has to be. So you have to be fucking a lot of dudes. Because a lot of dudes ain't gonna go for that. Like, okay, I don't want to have no kids right now. That's cool. I don't know you like that. But maybe down the line, if you're the right one, of course. And if you tell me that shit right now, it automatically set a button. Bing! I was gonna be fucking her till I find me somebody else. It may be a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years, but I'm always on the prowl because I want to be able to have a family one day. Because I know with a family I can produce better, right? Because sometimes you need another half, right? Because rent would be a whole lot cheaper if I had somebody else paying half this motherfucker off with me. Groceries would be a whole lot cheaper if I had somebody help me paying that grocery bill. It'd be a whole lot cheaper on me. So why wouldn't I want a partner? Right? And then one day we want to produce us. So why wouldn't we want kids? Right? You once a man, you're twice a child. The same thing you're gonna do as a child is you're gonna do as an old ass man. So you better have somebody there when you become a baby for a second time. You're shitting on yourself and you're wearing Pampers and you lost your damn mind. You're acting just like a little baby. You better have somebody to care for you. If you're fortunate enough to live that long, you better have somebody that love you. You better have somebody that you treated right. Right? Because one day, if not, you live long enough, you're going to be by yourself. Because your parents going to dry off. If you got siblings, they're going to be doing their own thing. You're going to be an old ass lady in an old nursing home by yourself when nobody comes see you, and you're going to die a lonely bitch. That's evil.
It's nature's fault. It's God's fault. It's like, yeah, the fault's everywhere, man.
Guys in my past have been like, oh, she'll make a great mom. This is perfect. It's been important to find someone who is interested in and cares about me for me and not what I can produce for him.
Like I have Tinder and like I'll see guys on there that are like maybe 10 years older than me and they're
I have Tinder and I see guys on that's 10 years older than me. A whore. What'd I tell you? What kind of man can want her?
they're like looking to start a family. I'm like, that's probably the worst thing you could put in your bio because that's making every woman run away.
So what are you going to do about that? Bear up under it and do something useful. And then you can respect yourself, at least to some degree. At least you're not contributing to the problem.
Yeah.
You know, and then maybe you can start to see the beauty in life and the possibility in life and the majesty in life and the incredible capacity of human beings for self-transformation.
I mean, at least that's how I see it.
Nowadays, dating in New York City is really tough, and I don't go on more than like 3 or 4 dates with somebody.
See all these whores? Tinder. I don't go to more than 3 or 4 dates. They're whores. It's cool to fuck somebody. It's cool to be a whore, but it's not cool to have a family. Cool to meet on Tinder. Cool to meet on Instagram and all this other shit, but it's not cool to have a family. Cool to throw your pussy around, but it's not good to have a family.
Not on purpose, just because, you know, dating sucks, but it hasn't come up. It hasn't become a deal breaker up to this point.
And in many cases are working counterproductively. They're trying to teach young people that they're helpless victims who need to restructure society in order, I don't know, I can't even say it anymore. It's so empty and dead.
My partner and I were very serious in our relationship. Once we moved and bought a home, he and I had a discussion about whether we wanted children, and both of us agreed that we don't. I think he just agreed with my decision not to, more so than anything, because he respects whatever I decide to do with my body. So
it's
my body, my choice shit. I don't want to have no kids because you don't want to have no kids. There's men out there that's like that, so you got to respect their decisions. Just don't kill it.
You know, I think I read this in Elias Canetti in a book called Crowds and Power, and it was one of the things that really stuck in my imagination. He did an etymological analysis of the word slogan, and he said that it was derived from the Welsh, 2 words, sluag, S-L-U-A-G-H, and germ, G-H-A-I-R-M, and it meant battle cry of the dead.
There are lots of other things that make a woman a woman. Caring and nurturing. I love teaching and the passing on of like traditions and culture and knowledge, all that stuff that goes with being a woman. But I don't have to have a child to do that.
And that really struck me because I've always had this sense that people mouthing ideologies are the puppets of corpses. It's something like that, the puppets of corpses of malevolent philosophers. You know, and they speak in dead tones, and they're not interesting. Like, if you're listening to an ideologue rattle on, you can hardly concentrate on what they're saying because it's dead, it's death itself speaking, and it compels zero interest. And so even discussing this sort of thing, I find difficult to even formulate the words because I'm so tired of that of that realm of discourse.
Why can't women?
Right? That life is not important. Right? Life is not important. These women are saying life is not important. There's more other things important in life than life itself or being a woman, right? They can be a woman, and that's true, because lots of women that's real women can't have no babies out there physically, right? But the gift of having a baby is a gift from God, because it's women out there that wish they can have babies, but for the babies out there to get that abort them, and it's women out there that wish they had one, that's cruel, and it's not even your life.
Can't women have that independence? Why can't women have all these careers or have these passions that...
All these careers. You hear what I'm saying? All these careers are all these passions. Everything but a kid. This was they teaching the liberal women. Have these careers. To be a businesswoman. A kid will slow you down. That's why we need abortions, because without abortions, the economy will be fucked up. Because there'd be more women at home. Remember back in the days, right, when men made enough money where they can take care of the household and the woman can stay at home, take care of the kids, she cooks, she clean, right? But they made that seem like a bad thing. Oh, I'm not finna stay at home and cook and clean. They made that seem like a bad thing, right? Oh, that is so masculine, that is so manly, or whatever the fuck they want to call it, right? If they say a woman is to stay at home and cook and clean, that's not disrespectful. If a dude making enough money to have you to stay at home and cook and clean, that's disrespectful, right? I mean, it's lots of women out there, and there's lots of couple out there who don't have that, and both people got to go out there and work, and they still a couple. And she still cooking clean, and he don't do none of that shit. He do his manly work. He take out the trash. He pay the bills, right? He do the housework. He take the kids to school. He run the errands. It's a couple thing. Sometimes he take over, and they share duties. Sometimes she drop off the kids. Sometimes he drop off the kids. Sometimes he cook. Sometimes she cook. Right? It's a shared responsibility. Right, but to say, my dude is making enough money where I can stay at home and cook and clean and take care of the kids, that's a bad thing. That's how the liberals making it sound. No, I gotta be an independent woman. I gotta work. I gotta do this. I gotta pay bills. I gotta do this. That don't make you an independent woman. That don't make you more of a woman because you got a job. I got a job. I'm a real woman. I ain't got no kids. I don't want to stay at home and take care of no kids. I don't want to be a mother. I don't want to teach no kids. I don't want to nurture. I want to go to work and go home and kick my feet off and go to the club and drink with the homegirls and go out and party and go out and do millennial shit. Right? Without the kids slowing me down. I want to go out and buy these high heels and buy these purses and buy these dresses. A kid will stop all of that. And I don't want that responsibility.
That are unhindered by any sort of extra responsibility.
It's like there's so many tremendous things that are remaining in the world for people to do if they stop being dead puppets of sick ideas. And it's appalling to me that it even and that opposition to that even has to be justified. Our entire civilization is opposition to that.
Birth. We have to have birth to even have a civilization.
Based on them.
There's something about women who don't want kids that is, in a way, threatening in the same way a happily single woman is threatening.
You want to have kids? That's fine. I need you to respect my life choice not to have kids. It's a two-way street.
And so, I mean, we can let it go if we want, but the alternatives are far gloomier than what we have now, I can tell you that. So we can let it all go. And we're being taught to let it all go. It's corrupt, it's rotten right to the roots. It needs to be retooled right to the very concepts that we use. It's like, yeah, what's going to replace it?
What's going to replace life? Nothing.
What have we got that's better? You got nothing that's better.
Nothing that's better than life. Nothing in the world that is better than life or the opportunity of life.
what we have is something that could be far more than it is if people would just take it to the level that it could be taken to. And everyone wants to hear that.
Women aren't allowed to necessarily make decisions in a very confident way. You're supposed to just follow a script. And I think because women who have chosen to be childless aren't following that script, it makes people really uncomfortable.
But it's analyze the message of don't have kids.
Right? This is some undercover shit, right? This is a message that the liberals tell you, right? Don't have kids, right? And these women are following it to the T. Don't have kids.
Because in Germany, for instance, we have these articles that are about, well, if you have two babies instead of three, then you can
reduce your carbon footprint.
Exactly.
Reduce your carbon footprint. Reduce the kids. So, you know what I'm saying? Reduce your carbon footprint. Remember, the liberals always talking about reduce your carbon footprints. They preaching this shit.
Oh, God. You know?
I mean, can I do something else? I mean, to help, let me have my child. I mean, it's not like...
no, it's appalling. I find those sorts of things absolutely appalling. They are so anti-human. Yeah. It's like, well, you can save the planet by not having a child. It's like you could save the planet by jumping off a cliff.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no one way to be a woman. We all just want the best for ourselves. So let's all accept that.
So we'll let the child be born and you can just like perish, and then you can reduce your goddamn carbon footprint. Yeah, because it's anti-humanism masquerading as planetary compassion.
Right? Is right? So think about that, right? How the Democrats, and I never thought about this, right? It's an assault on humanity, on every level. I'm talking about from the old people. Who did the China first hit? The old people, over 80. Who they going after now? The young people. They hitting the young people and the old people. Old people dying like flies. They talk about that left and right. Now you got young people who saying we don't want to have no babies, and if we do, we're aborting. And the women who are not even having abortions in the states, who still got abortions and still states is still legal in, they protesting the most. You don't see Alabama or Mississippi protesting. You don't see Nebraska protesting. Right? You don't see half the countries in the state protesting. You don't see majority of the states in this country protesting. You see 1 or 2 states, 8 or 9 cities. That's trying to speak up for the whole country. Ain't nobody else protesting. the cities that the abortions ain't stopping it, they protesting the most. They talking about calling the police and fighting for rights. And wait a minute, abortions ain't even fucking illegal out there. What you talking about? Getting plane tickets and fighting for rights and people. Your shit is still intact. So what you saying? You gonna go to other jurisdictions and fuck with they people? Well, we in New York and we in California, but we're gonna reach out to other countries and other states. If you want to come over here, we're gonna reach out to you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get all in their jurisdiction. Okay, you not legal over there. Well, our state is gonna get in their state business, right? And we're gonna bring you in our state and handle some business and send you back to their state. Right? But we forgot to tell you, in their state, you can't get no prenatal care. Right? So if you have something like that, it's illegal, right? So we done set you up for the fail. Because how you going to go back now? You don't have family leave out there because it's illegal. You set yourself up. You can't have the pills. We can't send it through the mail. You can't come out here every month and get them. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. You can't send shit through the mail because that'd be illegal. Big ass pill bottle of abortion pills. You don't get the whole fucking state busted. We sending shit through the mail to Nebraska, some of them abortion pills. Huh? You can't do it. right? So it's gonna be some women gonna have to wise the fuck up. Because it's laws out there to protect. It's laws in place. Like we're not saying you can't get no abortions. We're not figuring you the treatment. We're not saying you can't fly across no states to get the shit. We just saying you can't fly back with shit over here because the shit we check in the airport, right? And it's not prescribed in the state. We gotta take the shit at the airport. That's the TSA job. So how you gonna smuggle the shit in? You gonna smuggle in a different bottle? Right? They're gonna have to put some different names on this shit. You can't have this smuggling shit say abortion pills. You can't take that shit through TSA. Like, bitch, you can take it through out. You can take it on the plane, but bitch, you can't get it off. Like, we fly to California with these pills right here. Like, hold on. Like, you probably can fly. Like, what is the rule? You can fly out of California with them, but you can't fly to Mississippi with them. Like you can fly out. Like, you can fly to California as much as you want with the pills, right? You can get the fuck up out of here. But when you reach the state, we don't know what the fuck you're gonna do after that. If they catch you with them, that's illegal. Because they send them in murder pills, right? You got the damn murder pills. You can't be taking the murder pills and taking across state line, bitch. That's a felony. Bitch, that's worse than dope. They gonna look. It's gonna be they're gonna be like it's gonna be a pound of dope and 3 abortion pills, right? A pound of dope on one side of the trunk and 3 abortion pills on the other side of the trunk. They're like, oh. You got these abortion pills, huh? Hey, she got 3 abortion pills up in here. Get the abortion pills and arrest this bitch. You rolling dirty, bitch. You got 3 abortion pills up in here. Close the truck, impound the car, and take this bitch to jail for 3 abortion pills. Bitch, you getting life. Bitch, your ass going to jail forever. Like, you gonna be like this, like, oh shit, got the police. Girl, swallow the pills. But I'm not pregnant, bitch. Swallow them anyway. You swallow these 3, I swallow these 3. Swallow them, bitch. The police coming. Is you bitches on any drugs or anything? No. Why is she all of a sudden pregnant? You bitches getting pregnant out here. Where you bitches going? You bitches got tickets to California. Let me see your purse. Let me see, do anyone of you bitches got a flight up out of here? Huh? I got 1 ticket to paradise. Because this bitch not pregnant, right? Hey, it's going to be some Maury Povich shit going on. It's going to be some Maury Povich shit going on now. They're going to be like, you know what? I couldn't get an abortion because you didn't have no plane ticket. And I have to get a forced birth, right? So now we're on Maury Povich, and I got to find out which one of y'all is the daddy because they say I can't get on the system unless I tell. So we have to get on Maury Povich, and I'm testing all you motherfuckers. Because one of you motherfuckers got to be the family. Y'all aren't. Neither one of them the daddy. Niggas be like, thank God I'm not the daddy. This bitch done fuck the whole town. You got to find the next 5 niggas because this 5 ain't going to work. Well, the next 5 niggas, y'all, I know one of y'all the daddies. Y'all coming in to Maury next. Maury gonna be back in business. Like, oh shit, Maury calling his producers right now. Nigga, we back. I ought to become the next Maury Povich and shit. Just do some shit on the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are not the baby daddy. Like, Black, I came to the show because I know he the daddy. Black, I know I'm not the daddy, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was hitting, plus I had to dip me on extra tight. I know he the motherfucking daddy. You are not the baby daddy. Niggas start doing the crip walk. This shit is crazy. Huh? More babies will fuck up the economy. What the fuck? If y'all ain't have no babies, why the fuck are you worried about climate change? You ain't having no baby. AOC, you not having no motherfucking kid, right? So you worried about everybody else's kid, but you ain't having no motherfucking kid, right? So, and you ain't leaving no kid here, your ass gonna be dead in 30 years. You gonna be passed away in 30 years. What the hell you worried about a climate change for? Huh? You worry about everybody else's kids. Oh, our kids. Bitch, who kids? Don't say ours. Say y'all kids next. You better not ever say our kids again, bitch, unless you have one. Our kids are breathing this air. Our kids, bitch. It's not your kid. Let somebody who kid up there, you know what I'm saying, going through the shit you're talking about. Let them speak, bitch. You don't know what having a kid is like. You don't know, you didn't give a fuck they ran out of formula, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what running out of formula is like. You don't know what a crying baby is like. You don't know what breastfeeding is like. You don't know none of that shit. We don't know none of it. Say you want to know, I'm not pregnant because I never tried. Well, bitch, you never fucked? Come on, AOC. You taking this shit a little too far. I'm a working lady. I ain't got time for dick. Well, there's a lot of working ladies got time for dick. Lots of dick. Huh? I work too hard. This is what they want the average woman to be. Cut down on your kids and step up on your work, on your job. If you ain't got no kids right now, that's better. Because you can be more productive. Right? But the average woman, right? The average black woman, right? Or the average person that have a baby, they can't be productive. Well, how many of them women, right? Or how many of them stories of women having babies and people having babies and grew up on a system, and that person on the system grew up and been a productive member of society. It's been a lot of fucked up ones, right? But a lot of them got the motivation, went to school, done all the good work, you know what I'm saying, moved their mother out the projects, became a doctor, a lawyer, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of success stories, you know what I'm saying? It could have been a janitor, a police officer, a fireman, it could have been a boxer. You never know what the fuck. They could have been an athlete, but they done what they done, you know what I'm saying, got motivated, you know what I'm saying, and they got a story to tell. There's lots of people heard that story. There's lots of people can do that story. There's lots of women can be motivated by that story about a LeBron James, somebody like that, a single mother. You know what I'm saying? It's lots of single mothers whose sons in the NBA and NFL, doctors, lawyers. You know, it's lots of women's sons that's been out there that's successful. Lots of them, right? But that is the show right now. I just want to prove the AOC and the Democrats is scaring the shit out of women with this climate change. The birth rate is dropping. Black population is dropping at a rate higher than none of them. We got the highest mortality as far as we got the highest mortality for babies dying after birth. We got the highest abortion, babies dying before birth. We got the highest homicide. You know what I'm saying? People die from gunshots, right? We're supposed to have the highest China, right? People dying from the Wuhan, right? In every different fashion, we are at a loss. We are losing people faster than any other race of people because we are the number one of heart disease. Number one, people die from cancer. Right? We're number one in lots of things. Right? We're number one in drug overdoses. Right? It's because people thought it was, it's fentanyl. Fentanyl is like everybody's drug. Right? So you gotta understand, if we are at the bottom of the totem pole on every fucking thing, you gotta wake up because Democrats ain't making no better. They say how fucked up this world is. Every time you listen to a Democrat, it's always how fucked up this world is. They never say how good it is. Right? You never hear, every time Joe Biden it's always how fucked up it is. Ever since he been president, it's always been how fucked up it is. The border, the taxes, Donald Trump, MAGA, racism, the old people, Build Back Better, the health system. You never hear Joe Biden. Only time you hear Joe Biden is is give America credit is when you talk about them bad first. We've been through this, we've been through that, but it's never a good bet to bet on America. Then that's all you gotta say after you done said all that bad shit about us. Oh, we going through this. We gonna spend this money. We gonna spend that money. I know it's hard. I know it's this. I know it's that. But you bet not bet against America. What? Oh, the food, everything. Oh, we going to war. Vladimir Putin think this. Vladimir Putin think that. But it's never been a good bet to bet against America. I talked to China. China said this. China said that. But it's never a good bet to bet against America. Racism this, racism that. The police doing this, the police that. We can do better. You know what I'm saying? We will do better. Never bet against the people of America. It's never been a bet. Everything. We've been through this. We've been through that. The economy going bad. The Chinese thing is going out of control. But we're gonna come through this. Because as American people, we always came through this when we stuck together. You're such a gang of bad shit. When you gonna come out and say, damn, the country is doing good, the country is this, that country is that, and we doing good, and the best economy ever, you know what I'm saying? The jobs going up. You always say, jobs going up, best country ever, the economic numbers going down, but inflation is up. The gas whip is up. Meat is up. Tampons gone. Baby milk ain't in stock, right? But it's the best economy it has been in years. And it's an inflation, but we're going to get through this. Like, what the fuck? You just told me everything went up in my life. Rent, I ain't going to be able to get certain shit, right? But then you always want to say, but we're going to work through it? Because it's never been a good bet to bet against America. I'm tired of that shit, Joe, because you talking about the American people. You're not talking about you. You don't represent America, nigga. So when you say the American people, that's up to the American people. It's not up to Joe Biden. Stop telling us that shit. We know that. But you're in our fucking way. But that's my show tonight. I don't catch y'all on the rebound. I'll holler at you tomorrow. Hopefully, I got this one done. Hold on, let me see. Hopefully, I can have this skit done right here. Where we at? Open, right here. Let me see. No, we do this skit. I ain't gonna say it. That skit gone. Bye-bye. This skit is gone right there. Bye-bye, skit. Where we at? Right here. Let me see. Bye-bye, skit. I'm working on skits. I got this skit in the mix. Let me see what this skit is. Oh, yeah, I got this skit in the mix right here. You feel me? I got this skit in the mix. All the things Joe Biden said he was president for, right? All the shit Joe Biden, I got this in the mix, right? I got this right here.
Do, and how will you sustain each other for the attacks that you know are coming your way?
His wife give the... I am not concerned about...
At the front end of my career, civil rights and the environment.
I'm putting this Joe Biden.
Voting rights. That's how I got involved in politics.
I'm putting this Joe Biden skit together right here.
He blames his wife. He blames his business. Follow politics because of the poor and the disadvantaged.
I'm putting this shit together right here.
I got involved to try to stop the construction of that highway, which I did. That's what got me involved. Involved in politics to begin with because of civil rights and opposition to white supremacists, the Ku Klux Klan. It's all about family. It's all about community. And it really is. That's what got Pete engaged. That's what got him involved. That's what got me involved. I got involved in politics because of the neighborhood I came from. The reason why I got involved in politics, the reason why the president I ran, the president got involved, is the one primary role for...
I got that one, you know what I'm saying? I got that one coming up, and I got this one right here too. I got this one right here too. Let me see. I got this one. This not gonna be a skit. It's gonna be a live right here. Let me see the skit I'm working on. This is a skit I'm working on right here. Where the skit I'm working on? Where we at? Right This is here, go right here. This is another skit I'm working on. This should be tomorrow. This should be tomorrow. Let's see, this should be tomorrow right here. This is a skit I'm working on tomorrow about abortions. Oh, this is gonna be a cold skit right here, right? This is gonna be a cold skit right here. I'm already done with the writing and the editing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a cold skit, right?
Not only to ensure access.
Hold on. Watch what this girl say. Look what this girl say right here. Look what this girl say. Look what this girl say about Democrats. Watch what she say.
And I thought that was absolutely outrageous because my rights should not be a.
Oh, wait. What she say? She say this right here. Look what she say about the Democrats. Democrats and cold motherfuckers. Look what the Democrats do.
So I received a text message from Joe Biden's campaign yesterday saying that the Supreme Court had overturned Roe versus Wade and that it was my responsibility to then rush $15 to the Democratic National Party.
The Democrats campaigning on that Roe versus Wade shit already. Hey, bitch, Roe v. Wade is in. Send us $15 to the Democratic Party so we can fight this, right? But this skit right here is for this reason right here, right? This is the main reasons for this skit right here, right? Abortions, right? Abortions, right? Let me see, right? Where we at? Right here. This is about right here.
When I give my testimony in churches or...
This is about this right here. This is going to be a cold skit. Get the tissue out. You only can watch this shit right here. Get the tissue out on this one. Where we at?
If you are pregnant and you have an abortion and there's life still on the inside of you, my religious thinking is, well, God wants me to have a baby. But my mom actually decided to go back to the same doctor. So my mom didn't abort me once, she aborted me twice.
Woo!
Table, she actually went through the process and the procedure of having an abortion.
And my birth certificate was signed by an abortionist.
Woo!
Fighting for you.
I didn't want anybody else to know how much I was hurting.
We're going to be cold skit tomorrow.
Mechanisms. Bulimia. Of my biological mother's decision.
I'm getting y'all a sneak preview.
I want her, I want him, and I've got plans for him, and I've got plans for her.
The law to prevent infanticide must be constructed in the United States of America at all.
Woo, I got that in this.
To deliver on what is promised the American people.
Right.
I was encouraged as he's protecting and honoring our Constitution that gives us the right to life, regardless of circumstance or gestational age.
She was aborted. And the people the Democrats that are fighting against the right to life is fighting against these people that's in these videos. The people that was aborted and lived through the abortion. They fighting against these type of people right here. These very same people. They don't have a right. She didn't have a right to live. The dude didn't have a right to live. The other lady didn't have a right to live. You got to hear their stories. You know what I'm saying? That should be coming up tomorrow or the next day. I don't know which one I'm going to do first. The Joe Biden or, I got a couple of in the things. Days ahead. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. It's time for me to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Send your donation. And if you care, share if you care. Right? Hold on. Where we at? Where the hell am I? Where the hell am I? Share if you care. I'm out this mess. I'll talk to y'all later. Share if you care.